Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Lacy Designs. On this tutorial, I'm about to teach you how to cut and sew this beautiful mermaid gown and an overlapping top. So stay connected as we get started. So these are the materials I'll be using for the tutorials: a ruler, scissors, tailor's chalk, a satin fabric for the rows, tape measure, and then my crepe fabric. Okay, so the slit length for my client is 44 inches plus 6 inches as my flow. How I want the slit to flow, that is 50 inches plus 2 inches as my sewing allowance, making 52 inches. So I marked out the 52 inches. Okay, so the wideness of the hem, how wide I want the hem to be, that's from the center front at the side. I measured 18 inches. Yes, so the wideness of the hem is 18 inches. As you can see, I marked 18 inches from the hem to the hip to the waist area. Afterwards, I will take my waist measurement, my hip measurement, and then my knee measurement. The waist measurement for my client is 40 inches. 40 divided by 4 will give me 10 inches, plus 2 inches as my sewing allowance, making 12 inches. So I marked out 12 inches. My client is a tall person, so I marked from waist to hip 11 inches. Sewing allowance has been added to it at the waist area. Okay, then the hip measurement is 48 divided by 4 will give me 12 inches, plus 2 inches as my sewing allowance, making 14. So I marked out my 14 inches. And then the knee area, from waist to knee, I marked out 21 inches. And then the knee measurement, I am using 40. So 40 divided by 4 will give me 10 inches plus 2 inches as my sewing allowance. That is 12 inches. Okay. So I marked out and then connected the points from my waist to the hip and then to the knee. And then from the knee to the side of the skirt. That is the 18 inches wide I gave at the hem of the skirt. I then rounded the hip area and then cut out. So after cutting out, the next thing I will do is to cut out the back pieces. I'm about to cut the back. So from the center front away, that's for the back, I left 8 inches. And then the hem parts, I left 4 inches. I didn't want the back hem to flow too much. I wanted it to be a bit equal. Okay, so what I will do is I'll mark out my knee measurement. That is from waist to knee. That is the 21 inches. I marked out and then indicated my 1 inch as my zip allowance. Afterwards, I connected a slanted line from the knee point to the side of the back. Afterwards, I rounded it from the center back to the side of the front like this. Okay, so I'll cut out. After cutting out the back pieces, the next thing to do is to indicate my zip extension. So from the waist downwards, I marked out my 12 inches. Then I will sew from where I marked the 12 inches downwards 1 inch to the back. Okay, so this is what I have after sewing down from where the 12 inches ended to the hem of the back pieces. The next thing to do is to open up the back pieces, making sure the right side faces me, and I'll place the right side of the front onto it. Afterwards, I'll shape it according to my client's measurement. That is waist 40, hip 48, and then knee 40. Then I'll bring the side together this way and then sew 1 inch from the knee area downwards. I'll do the same thing for the other side. So this is what I have after sewing downwards. I'll then trim off some excess. I'll make sure the knee area, I'll leave about 3/4 of an inch or ½ inch so that it doesn't become bulky. And then from the hip and then the waist, I'll leave about 1 inch or 1.5 inch. Afterwards, I'll trim off the hem area to get a smooth curve or equal hem. Okay, so this is it. I am trimming off the exceeding ones. Wait, so after I'm done, I'll cut out the front. The bust measurement for my client is 44. Divided by 4 will give me 11 inches. 11 inches plus 2 inches as my sewing allowance, making 13. Okay, and then the top length is 17 inches plus 0.5 as my seam allowance is making 18.5. So I marked out my 18.5. I'll cut the same thing. So I'll cut 2 front and then 1 back. After cutting out, so this is what I'll be having. I cut out the back and then the front. I'm about to shape the neckline. The neckline, the wideness and the length of the neckline is 3.5 by 3.5, and then the back neckline is either 1.5 or the front neckline divided by 2. So I then cut out both the front and then the back pieces, the neckline. Okay, so this is the shoulder line. The shoulder line is 3.5 because it's a sleeveless top. So from the shoulder downwards, it's 9 inches, but because I'll be sloping the shoulder by half an inch, I made it 9.5 and then draw my armhole curve. Afterwards, I'll slope my shoulder by 1.5 and then cut out my armhole curve. So after cutting out the back and then the front together, I'll then go ahead and then shape the front, one side of the front like this. Because I didn't want my client's bust or cleavage to be showing too much, I didn't go down too much. Okay, but if you want yours to be exposing or to show a bit of your cleavage, you can as well extend it downwards. So after cutting out one front, I will cut another one for the other side. So this is the right side. I'm about to cut the left side of my top. Okay. After cutting out, I will then bring it together like this. I will overlap it to see what I have. The next thing to do is to cut out facing for my neckline and then the chest line. I'll do the same thing for the back pieces. Okay, so this is it. After cutting out the facing and then sewing down, I then top stitched. I did the same thing for the back pieces and then indicated my zip allowance. Okay, so this is it. I am securing it down with a pin to enable me place it on the back pieces and then shape it according to my client's measurement. The bust measurement is 44 inches and then waist is 40 inches. So as you can see, this is the back pieces. I'll then place the right side facing me and then place the right side of the front onto it and then shape it according to my client's measurement. And then for the shoulder line, I will then fold in the back pieces half an inch and insert the front shoulder into it. Then turn to the wrong side and sew half an inch downwards, then turn to the right side. This is what I have after sewing at the side and side and then trimming off the excess. And then afterwards, I finish the shoulder line. The next thing to do is to go ahead and then shape the back pieces. I'll then take off about 1 inch so that if I fix my zip wouldn't be poking. Okay, I'll then go ahead and cut out the pieces that flows at the side pieces. Okay, so the wideness of the pieces is about 24 inches. That's the wideness of the piece is 24 inches, and then the length is the normal length, that is the 60 inches. Okay, so I'll fold it into two like what I am doing and then shape the hem a bit to get a curvy hem. I'll then trim off about some inches like this to get a curvy hem. Afterwards, I'll go ahead and then knitting all round and then fold about 1/4 of an inch and stitch down. So this is what I have after knitting and stitching down. The next thing to do is to go ahead and then pleat it at the waist area. So after pleating, I'll place it on the right side of the skirt and place the top onto it. Then go ahead and sew at the waist area all round. So this is what I have. I placed it on it. I placed on the top area. I made it exceeded about 3 inches at the back. Okay, so from the side to the back, it exceeded just 3 inches. I'll then place the top onto it and then pin all around, making sure the side and side seam matches. Okay, so this is what I have after inserting in the side flow. The next thing to do is to go ahead and then fix my zip and then cut out the rose design. So this is the hem of the skirt. I'll then finish it with my horsehair. So the rose design, I'll cut out about 3 long strips, which has an interval of 4 inches. So I marked out 4 inches and then connected all with my ruler and cut out. So I'll be having about 3 pieces. I'll then go ahead and join all the 3 pieces together. Okay. After joining the 3 pieces together, the next thing to do is to cut out my base for the flowers or for the rose. I cut out as 2 circles with an interval of either 3 to 4 inches. Okay, so I cut out 2 pieces. Sorry. After cutting out the 2 pieces, I'll place the right side of both together and then sew all round. After sewing, I'll notch all round and cut the middle of the pieces and turn to the right side like what I am doing. So after turning to the right side, I then draw my circles in a spiral way. So a circle in a spiral way. So when I got to the center, I stopped. So this is my fabric. I'll then slope one side of the fabric. I'll actually slope the 2 sides, but I'm showing you something. So this is what I have. I then went ahead to knitting one side, to knitting that unfinished side. I'll place my pieces onto the spiral design and then pleat along and sew. So this is what I have after pleating along the spiral marks and then sew. The next thing to do is to cut out fringes and then place it onto the pleats and secure it. I'll go ahead and use my thread and needle to secure it, either thread and needle or your sewing machine to secure it. Yes, this is what I'll be doing to create a design that I think will be okay before I stop. So I'll go ahead and place it on a dummy after stitching so that you would see the outcome of our design. Great, so this is what we have. Thank you all for watching my videos. Please, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, kindly do so and then press the notification bell to notify you anytime I upload any video. See you all in our next video. Bye.